How is the WWE Universe doing? I am WILLDOG, and welcome to a video of the Doghouse. And so we're here on the WWE Subreddit, and believe it or not, I've never actually been on it, so I'm going to be going to the top of all time. Not today, not of this month, not of this week, of all time. Let's see what people were posting and that loved the most. DNA testing was invented in 1986. People in 1985. Custody of Dominic ladder match. I didn't know they had ladder matches back then. Pretty sure the first one was like early 90s. Come on, guys. Get with the times. Me upvoting my own post. Triple H. Oh, I did it. I'm the greatest. Screw WrestleMania. Seth is going to the University of Phoenix. Yeah, he's not even pointing at the freaking sign. He's just pointing at University of Phoenix. That's Bill Belichick's music. Oh my! Bill Belichick is cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. The Super Bowl is now a triple threat. Yeah, so it's two teams of football facing one guy. They got this. They got this. After all these years, he still holds it against Hogan. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone except the Hulk Hogan. My man was the man who birthed Hulkamania, but over here just hating on him. When women cried, when men cried. I'm not gonna lie, I remember popping. I remember watching the Royal Rumble and it was me and my buddy Red, and I yelled, "It's Edge! It's Edge! Red Edge is here!" When Edge came out to that ramp, bro, I flipped out. The only other time I think I've ever popped harder was probably when Carlito came out of the pay-per-view where it was like Dominic versus Ray. That shit was awesome. I literally squealed when Carlito came out. It was kind of embarrassing, not gonna lie. I've won 31 championships in this company. I'm sorry, I don't count the 24/7 championship. Edge rated R, I don't count your 31 championships either. So we even. Hell, man, R-Truth needs to be in the Hall of Fame. If he doesn't get in the Hall of Fame as soon as he retires or whatever, I don't know if that man is ever gonna retire, but like, R-Truth is a GOAT. R-Truth is a legend. 100 days without a title defense. Good on you, Roman, man. You're just that good, man. Everyone complained about Brock Lesnar not defending his title, but now Roman Reigns is over here defending his title maybe every 100 days. Maybe he'll go to beat Bruno Sammartino's championship reign by not defending it up until then. We met Cody Rhodes at Disneyland. Is it just me, or with the hat he doesn't look like Cody Rhodes? Like, that does not look like Cody Rhodes at all. Looks more like Orton, to be honest. I don't know. What am I looking at? Like, that just, I don't know why, but that just doesn't look like Cody. Yeah, I think he looks like he could be Cena's brother if only I could see Cena. Gunther right now is what WWE thought Vladimir Kozlov was going to be in 2008. Honestly, I can see it, but just pray to God that Gunther doesn't go into a stable with R-Truth. Pray to God that by the end of 2025, Gunther isn't holding the Cruiserweight title and saying what's up to the crowd with little Jimmy by his side. The fact that people are peddling the idea that Roman should retain because Cody needs a major setback before he wins the belt after he wrestled Hell in a Cell looking like this and missed 8 months is low-key hilarious. The fact that he lost, like he beat Seth with a torn pec but couldn't beat Roman Reigns is kind of wild. Like, even I was like, I don't want it to happen, but it's obvious that Cody Rhodes is gonna win. Like, there's no way he's gonna lose this match. It's built perfectly. So I feel like now whoever beats Roman, unless it's Jay at SummerSlam, but yeah, if it's Jay, maybe that'll work. But I feel like Cody would have been literally the perfect story ending for Roman's reign. At WWE, Randy Orton gave the show off an RKO for the ages 10 years ago today. And then Ziggler over here saying, what's the point of all this? What about all the times I didn't get RKO'd? No one ever talks about those. I don't randomly show clips of WCW beating you for those 83 weeks from my account. Blocked and reported. Maybe that's why you don't get pushed, because you constantly crap on the place you work. I mean, it worked for Punk, and it worked for Stone Cold, and it worked for Triple H. Never mind, keep crapping on your place, and maybe at one point you'll get great. This picture will live in my nightmares forever. A horrific image. I'm gonna be honest, when Roman when Roman beat Cody, I was like, wait, what? That was my honest reaction. And since Roman's my current favorite of the current roster, whenever the Usos would come down, the audience would go, boo. I'd be, yes, here come the Usos. I'd be so happy. But the fact that Roman, his reign has got to end at one point. But honestly, in my mind, of me being a super fan of Roman, I feel like his title reign should end because he got injured. I mean, maybe that's why he hasn't wrestled in 100 days. Maybe he's injured. Or maybe it's because WWE sucks at bringing up new talent. Almost 21 years in WWE. Acted in a few movies, but never tried to leave WWE for Hollywood. And never jumped to another company. If any WWE star deserves to break Ric Flair's record of 16-time world champion, it's Randy Orton. Honestly, I think that's That's pretty legit because Orton said he has like 10 years-ish in him. There's no way that he can go 10 more years and not win the world title at least once more, to tie it at least. Do I think it should be beaten? No. Do I think it should be tied by Orton? Yeah. I mean, actually, imagine the story. Imagine the story of like Orton having been in Evolution with Flair, and then what if Flair costs him the world title when he's about to win his 17th? And then it goes like a big story. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Rhea Ripley was trying so hard to get the crowd to boo her, but they kept cheering her instead. But when Dominic touches the mic, they're ready to rip him apart. Man, give Dominic some love. Dominic is probably one of my favorite talents right now, just of how much heat he gets over. Like, that's such natural heat, because it's the character that he has, that he hates his dad. But the fact is, he is one of WWE's top stars. I see him, and the funny thing is, when he was with his dad, I remember telling my buddy Patrick that, like, hey, I'm curious of when Dominic is gonna have his cool guy phase. Because if he's just came in as his dad's son, he's gotta have a part of him that comes out of it. There's no way that he's gonna be with his dad until his dad retires and then just leaves that alone. I would be very surprised if I would have been very surprised if WWE never did a story of Rey and Dom. Breaking, Carlito Colon re-signs with WWE. There have been talks about that, but the thing is, nothing's happened yet. I'm interested in if it's actually true. Because I swear, if it's just like a backstage role, that's gonna be dumb because he's in the best shape of his life. What would they do with him? They're trying to push new talent, not old talent. Miss Elizabeth and Macho Man Randy Savage holding current WWE champion Roman Reigns back in the 80s. Why didn't Roman Reigns get back in the business back then? My man could have lifted Andre. He could have beaten Hulk Hogan with a guillotine, destroyed Ultimate Warrior. Randy Savage would have been a... He could have faced Ric Flair. He could have faced all of them when he was just 6 years old. You see that face? You see that face of Macho Man Randy Savage? That is the face of fear. You see that face? You see that face of Miss Elizabeth? It's because she's attracted. She don't want this. She wants this when he's grown up. It looks like he's licking his hand. He's ready to Superman punch or bitch slap Miss Elizabeth. Alpha Academy Appreciation Post. Honestly, they are probably one of my favorite parts of the WWE right now. Like, Otis felt so empty. Like, the stable just kind of kept doing the same thing over and over. And then they got her to join, and now it's like, actually has like a story feel. And I'm pretty sure that a while ago, it was released that Chad Gable was supposed to break away from the group and become a serious singles competitor. But then where would that leave Otis? Otis would pretty much be fired. Without a tag team, I feel like Otis is kind of useless. He's a good superstar and all, but like he's been built as a joke for so long. You can't really bring him in and then just have him go for Roman Reigns. It sounds kind of dumb. But like with the current Alpha Academy, I feel like it's really cool. I feel like if anything, they should add maybe more members to it. Oscar over here saying, I'm waiting for you guys to come. Okay, Oscar, okay, I see you. When, where, and why? Actually, no why. I don't want to know why. I haven't seen this talked about enough. He's too old. When's Money in the Bank at the same age? Yeah, you're kind of right. They really messed that up. LA Knight was perfect, but I feel like with what's going on with the Judgment Day, but you gotta keep their momentum going. I feel like you can't really boost LA Knight up that far because when they've tried that in the past, there's a bunch of people that they've tried boosting the top super quickly in the past, like 10 years, and it just hasn't worked pretty well. So I feel like they're trying to be careful with LA Knight, but I feel like it's also a good pick for Damian Priest to win the match. The momentum going in with Judgment Day. LA Knight will have his moment, don't worry. As soon as I saw Lashley with the Profits, I knew it was coming. Wrestling fans, more than one black performer interacting. Is this a new Hurt Business? Honestly, I feel like WWE has tried to bring back the Hurt Business, like they've sort of given it interactions, but they don't really seem to want to. If the Street Profits want to keep up with the trends, they can't really stay the same. So that maybe like a new leader would kind of make them more relevant. I'm not taking anything away from them, but just they need a change if they want to keep up with what's going on. Does anyone miss Sasha Banks? Do I? Did I really like her? Honestly, I like the woman right now. Like, I'm really digging Liv Morgan and the woman coming up. Like, the women's roster right now, except for the tag team division, obviously, which I just realized had Liv Morgan. But the women's division right now, I feel like they need to bring in more women from NXT soon. Because the woman roster, at least like the top spot woman roster, is getting pretty stale. Because Bianca's held the title forever. Asuka's been there. Charlotte keeps coming and going. Rowan. I guess it's been the same people at the top for so long, which can also be said by the men's division, but at least they keep it a little bit fresh. Like the same rivalries keep going. I want Bayley back in the top division. I miss Bayley being a singles competitor, because Bayley was one of my favorites. To answer your question, if I miss Sasha Banks, not really. Since Roman's unbeatable shield is gone now, we have Solo left to betray him, and then Heyman leaving him when he loses his titles. What could happen with him after? Honestly, here's something that I'm thinking about. Like, this is a hot take. This is a very big hot take. But here's what I'm thinking. What if Jimmy Uso, or one of the Usos, whichever one, I feel like it'll be Jimmy if this does somehow happen. What if Jimmy turns on Jay? What if Jimmy turns on Jay? Jay goes with Sammy and Kevin. I mean, they're injured, but so maybe they'll do that later. But what if at one point Jimmy turns on Jay, goes back with Roman, wins the tag titles with Solo. Roman continues holding his title because he still has two people to help him retain his titles. Jay just can't get the job done. But then the ultimate team collides. It's Cody, Jay, Sammy, and Kevin. And they actually outnumber Roman, Jimmy, and Solo. So that could be cool. That could be like a neat face-off. I feel like when Roman loses his title, it's gotta be the next WrestleMania. Whoever faces him at next WrestleMania is gonna get the win. What we all saying about this? I mean, it looks sleek as hell. Jey Uso as the WWE champion looks hella nice, but does he really need it? I mean, I get like the twin thing of one needing to break out, but does Jay really have what it takes to beat Roman in one-on-one competition? In my mind, the answer is no. See, as cool as that looks, I don't think it's gonna happen. What were your first impressions of Goldust when he first debuted in 1995? He was pretty controversial at the time. The gimmick lasted much longer than people thought it would. I've been watching like old WWE. I started watching the year 1999, which is apparently his last WWE year until 2001 when WWE bought WCW. From what I had seen and from what I have seen of the past Goldust character when it was just insanely just over the top. Like it was a really good character. It was a lot of fun to see just how far they were pushing the envelope. And the fact that something was controversial at the time, in what, 96? That's pretty good. You have to go pretty far to be controversial in 96 or 97. So, Goldust, nice job. Rate Gunther's title reign out of 10. So he just beat Macho Man Randy Savage. He's on his way to beat Pedro Morales and Honky Tonk Man. If I had to rate it, honestly, it's a pretty solid reign, because hasn't he been defending it pretty consistently? His rivalry with Drew, his rivalry with Sheamus, which are obviously the breakout things in there of like people think that he might lose. But yeah, so far, I would say the Intercontinental Championship contendership of like the people who've been facing him, it's been pretty solid, I can't lie. So like, it's probably one of the more memorable Intercontinental title reigns in recent memory, I would say. Other than The Miz, this guy, and Dolph Ziggler, this guy's pretty good. How would you react if this happened? Roman Reigns, undisputed WWE Universal Champion, versus Jon Moxley, AEW World Champion. Honestly, I would flip. All we need is Seth for the special guest referee, and we will have the greatest wrestling match of all time. I would find it hard to believe, and it's gotta have like a stipulation. It's gotta be like some ladder match, and winner takes all. So Roman can jump to, and so then like WWE can invade AEW. This is just obviously fantasy booking, but like imagine that Roman goes to AEW on Wednesdays, comes back Friday, and is like, here I am, I'm the AEW champion. Who is the biggest waste of potential in WWE history? In your opinion, here's mine. And he picked Raven, which isn't a bad pick. Okay, so who would be mine? Who's someone that I feel like under-delivered, but I feel like had a lot more? It's stuck between two people, Matt Hardy and John Morrison. Matt Hardy never won a major title. He never won the world title in WWE. I think he was in like, but Jeff did. Obviously, like, everyone knew that Jeff was the breakout star, but like, come on, you could have still given him a world title. And then John Morrison had the look, he had the style, he had the charisma, he had everything. But every time they brought him back, they just paired him up with The Miz. Are they a bad tag team? No! But should he at least get a singles career before being with The Miz again? Yes! I love John Morrison, but he did not get treated well in WWE because they're just pairing him up with The Miz. Did he like it? Probably. I would assume so because they were best friends. But just like, they could have used John Morrison so much better than just a frickin' another cruiserweight. Alright, well, I think that is going to do it for this episode of the Doghouse. That's actually a lot of fun because I got to read stuff on the Reddit that I actually am interested in. But anyway, let me know what Reddits you guys would like me to react to next. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all later.